the Razorback game was playing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I know kids on that team. I mean, so it, not only is it the state team, is actually I'm watching kids that I saw that was young little boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, we had like a really big lead, and somehow it got into overtime stuff, and a bunch of weird shit happened. But hey, we fucked around and won, and yay.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to watch a ton of football. I mean, lots of football and all that. But just lately, man, like about the last couple of years, I just lose interest. Even when my team is kicking ass, or if it's a good contest or whatever, I'm just kind of like, I'm so tired of these. I mean, just burned out, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I hear you.
I think I saw a thing that I would like to try on the new Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
They had dogfighting football, where both teams play offense and defense at the same time.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, that looked crazy because you have to decide, like, well, am I going to be a defensive player this round or an offensive player? You can devote everybody to offense and get your points, but that means the other guys get their points. You have to stop the other team and it's like you just start in the middle of the field every play. There's no first downs or none of that other shit. It's we're both hiking the ball and at the same time, and whatever happens, we'll figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was in that new Top Gun movie.
Yeah,
which,
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, and this is not a high bar to jump over, but I thought it was the best movie I'd seen of this year.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, this year set a pretty low bar for movies, so that's not hard to do.
I guess it depends on where you watched your movies.
Well, movie theater.
Apple TV has been putting some movies out.
Oh well, yeah. No, I mean like big blockbuster hits, stuff that goes to the theater. It was all garbage. It's all shit. It's all the same crap regurgitated, and sometimes they slap a new name on it, but usually not. They don't even bother to do that. They just tell us the same shit over and over and over again.
Yeah, like how many Batman stories have we seen?
Right.
Like, yeah. I mean, my God.
Well, I will say the new Batman movie was pretty good with Robert Pattinson.
You didn't even watch it.
It's pretty good. You'd probably like it. I think he did a pretty phenomenal job. But I mean, the majority of the movies that came out were just crap. I mean, I just have zero interest.
Do you have Apple TV?
Oh yeah.
Dude, the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. It's kind of geared for kids, but excellent little 26-minute thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, if you got Apple TV, you're sitting there and you're ever thumbing around, just going, I don't know what the fuck I want to watch. So give that you'll be happy you watched it.
Oh, yeah.
There, it's to me, it shows how all humans should interact together.
You are cutting in and out pretty bad. Like you're.
How's that? Is that better?
A little bit. It sounds like it's just a rough internet connection, but with the weather, I wouldn't doubt it.
Try my best, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we are. I would say this is the first time I've ever actually seen a storm come in that literally hit the entire United States. I mean, I don't think anybody was left out of this.
Probably not.
Oh, that's better now.
Oh, good. It'll probably come and go like that. It's been away for a few days. We've had this storm, the Arctic. We went from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to I think we're at 60 now.
Yeah, Yeah, like 3 days ago, we were at, I think the lowest it got was 19. And
Yeah.
now we're at like, well, right now it's 47. So, like,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it after going to bed and looking at your temp and it's saying that it's 22 outside, and then 2 or 3 nights later, then it's like 48, and I'm like, why am I waking up and I'm sweating and
Yeah.
why is it so damn hot in here?
It got real cold here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, it did.
Yeah. We got down to 0 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then you had wind chill factor on top of it. Like, I was seeing that some places where you were at,
and shit.
yeah, it was like negative 15 degrees with wind chill. I'm like, sorry, that's witch's tit. That's too cold.
And then to top it off, I mean, we're not really here for that shit. We don't have 5 miles of insulation on our buildings.
Right.
We're not. Yeah, our roofs are not really, built to stand. We get a foot of snow, you'll see people's roofs collapsing here and there.
Right.
It was really just ice and terrible freezing temperatures. We didn't get the snow, which was great. Fuck that snow.
Yeah, I would rather have the snow than the ice. I mean, the snow you can drive in, but ain't nobody doing nothing in ice.
Nope. This is 4 tires sliding.
That's right. Yeah, I was laughing because they were, you watch the weather, the local weather, and they're like, oh, we're expecting like 1/10 of an inch of ice. I got into my parking lot out in front of my apartment, and I'm like, the fuck it is? This is like a 2-inch thick sheet of ice from here all the way down the hill. And I mean, it was just a solid sheet, like 2 inches thick. And I'm like, okay, well, nobody's going anywhere.
We kept power, so that was amazing to me. We have a lot of above ground power lines.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got some places that have built them, but for the most part, it's all above ground, and our trees they're not situated for that. Really, tornadoes knock whatever fucking trees down is down. It don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not used to wind gusts or anything.
Yeah, and your guys' outdoor. So I used to work there was a company called At Home, and they handled all of the cable internet before they busted it up into all of the individual cable companies. And so it was basically At Home was basically a conglomeration of all the cable companies rolled into one. And we used to get tech calls, and like in the winter, like you said, you had problems with the lines because they're all outdoors, and that causes problems in and of itself with ice. Then in the summer, because the lines it got so damn hot down there, and so we would get calls, and these people would be having terrible problems with their internet, and I would literally tell them on the phone, I'd be like, look out your window and tell me what your outside lines look like. And they're like, oh, well, it does this every summer. It's drooping down. It's hanging like maybe a foot off the street. And I'm like, yeah, that's what the problem is. I'm like, I don't need to stay on the phone with you. I'm going to roll a truck out there, and they'll tighten those lines up, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. We've got a pretty mean set of linemen. I mean, in this whole part of the country, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, this very competent, fast work. We can't build a road fucking to save our ass. It'll take a year to do a fucking mile of road, but fucking we can put power anywhere. We can throw up some power lines. We can put transformers. We're great at that. But, no, we suck at road work. Terrible.
Well, don't feel bad. Oregon ain't much better. You leave my apartment and you go across. I live in Washington, so you cross the river, which it takes you 15 minutes to get to the bridge, and you cross the river, and the second you get over I-5 or I-205 and you get off that bridge, it's like you just pulled into a demilitarized zone. Like the highway. If you ain't got a 4-wheel drive and you're not prepared, you're gonna lose your suspension.
Virginia, man, they put down some fucking miles. I've traveled around a bit, and I've gone through Virginia where they had road work, and then as I would come back through, just a couple days later, they would have moved 3 or 4 miles down the road.
Yeah.
Because they just kind of, as they follow the roadway, and they only take a couple miles in theory of what they'll use up, but they book it. I don't know whether they're just cutting corners or do they kick some ass. I don't know, but I was really impressed on how fast they moved down the.
Whoops. You blinked out there for a second.
Oh, I hit refresh because every time someone comes in, I can't see. You'll have your animation, your picture until I hit refresh. And I wanted to see Keith and Captain.
Yeah.
Look at us. Yeah.
Hi, Cameron. Hi, Devin. How was your Christmas?
It was nice.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you survive the ice apocalypse?
Yeah, there was a sheet of ice about half an inch thick on our road.
That's what I was just saying. I was just telling him, on the local news, they're like, "Oh, we're expecting 1/10 of an inch of ice," and I'm like, "The fuck you are! There's 2 inches of ice out in my parking. There's just the entire parking lot. It's like, 2 inches thick of ice." Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guy out there with a torch trying to melt it away. It was.
Yeah, that's endeavoring uselessness is what that is.
Yeah.
The thing to do is those gallon-sized Ziploc bags and put hot water in it, seal the bag, then go outside and put the bag in the windshield.
Yeah.
It puts thermal heat.
Rock salt works really well. I just used kosher rock salt on our back. My wife went out and put kosher rock salt on the back patio because I was smoking a turkey and trying not to break my legs getting back and forth, and so she just threw a bunch of that out there, and that took care of that. But
rock salt doesn't even really melt stuff too much when you start having like minus 15 degree wind chill.
Yeah. My wife's like, "Holy shit, it got to like 14 in Florida." I'm like, "Wow, hell really did freeze over."
Sure did. Man, you got to give it to Florida because there's not another state that just comes up with some of the most craziest news stories,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, golly, they just got the trippiest criminals ever. They do weird criminal stuff.
Right.
And it's, yeah. The Florida people, I guess, if you got alligator in your swimming pool, when you're coming up, you're raised a little different.
Right. Yeah.
They had a big problem with anacondas that people escaped from their houses and they went crazy. Yeah. I wonder if all the cold killed them.
Maybe. I don't know. There was a lot of python and stuff issues in the Everglades. It's been fucking up the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've even started moving into Louisiana in the swamps and stuff. They've been bitching about it.
Maybe they just migrated because of the cold.
Yeah. I half-assed forgot what we got going on in this game.
Right, I know. I had to do a little homework.
Okay, good. I'm going to trust you. Well.
We got Cordan in a full-on war.
Yeah, I remember we did that.
Yeah.
And we really pissed off Stanislaw.
Oh, yeah, man. We went up his corkscrew so bad. Oh, man. I mean, you can just picture this short, pudgy, guy with a Napoleon complex, maybe is kind of how I picture him, and having to type that report and be like, yeah, man, I got butt raped by these pirates you sent me to do. They fucking nuked my ass.
There we go.
If we go to Cordan, are they going to follow us there and try and finish it there, though?
Well, see, man, my thing on this, though, is he found them guilty when they weren't pirating. And I think, we ought to see if we can possibly come up with a way to make them, show us the money. You sentenced these guys to death, and you never proved it. That's why he took all the time to check in with his superiors and all that shit. He knew he couldn't prove the guilt, really, except for in a kangaroo court setting. But if we could push him to do an actual real thing, maybe some good advocate roles or something, could maybe. Of course, we did kind of ambush attack him. We didn't have to do that.
So my good friend Nelson got me this a little desk thing, and the eye lights up.
Cool.
He's like, he didn't even know if the eye lit up. It just said that the eye glows, and so looking at the box, we were assuming that it'll glow in the dark. No, it takes batteries, man. And he can turn that baby on, and it'll glow all the time. So Kevin said he forgot with the Christmas and whatnot, but he's on his way. And Corey is on his way right now. His partner's truck gave out, and so he is currently driving him home. So he is on his way. So why don't I go ahead and get us started? Welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We hope everybody had a very good holiday. Merry Christmas. And we are back. And we'll be picking up where we left off 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it feels like this has been a long week, man. But before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. These aren't partnerships or sponsorships of any kind. They're just products that we really like. And tonight we would like to thank Dogmight Games. Dogmight Games makes beautiful wooden accessories for your tabletop role-playing games, such as wooden DM screens, dice trays, dice vaults, dice towers. They have this really cool thing called the Player Vault that kind of does all of it all in one, and it's got a plexiglass cover on it that snaps on with magnets, and you can get it etched with your choice of character sheet so that you can track notes and hit points and spell slots with a dry erase pen. But they have a number of stuff, and they can do customization on all of them. If you order one that's customized, it usually ships in 6 to 8 weeks. If you're wanting one right away, they have stuff that's in stock in their inventory. You can check that out. That usually ships in 1 to 2 business days from time of purchase. If you've been on the fence and you're looking to pick one up or pick something up for maybe a late Christmas gift, we have a code for you. It's good for 10% off everything on their site. I think this will be good through the first of the year, and then I'm going to have to get a hold of them and get a new code. But put whatever you are looking to buy into your cart, and then use the code FRIEND in all capital letters, and that will net you 10% off your purchase. If you are a fan of our Traveler game, we have a website via Obsidian Portal. It's down below in the description. There's a link down there. The adventure log is written in the manner of Traveler news service articles. I try to keep it as up to date as possible. Sometimes it's difficult on some of these because we've got 3 different pages via Obsidian Portal, and it's hard to keep them up to date because it depends on a number of factors. Excuse me. Primarily, it depends on where they're at in the campaign. So I can't just throw up an article that's going to give away information that they haven't gotten to yet, or sometimes it doesn't make sense for there to be a news article yet. I ran into that quite a bit, or so far with Deep Night Endeavor, with the Deep Night Endeavor portion of Revelation. It just didn't make sense to update when they were mid nowhere, and there was really no way for the public to have learned anything. So, but keep a watch on that, and if you like what you see, please go to the front page and give us a thumbs up. We do like to see those fan likes, and we hope you enjoy. If you are an old school revival, Renaissance OSR player, if you like old school D&D games, I have started an entire new campaign setting that you can purchase now. It is available now on Drive-Thru-RPG. It's called the Braunhaven campaign setting. And the campaign setting book also comes with the first adventure in the series called The Thing in the Basement. It's for levels 1 through 3. It is all written for old school essentials advanced fantasy, but it will work with any it should work with any OSR game with a minor tweak here or there. And I also released, and it is pay what you want. There is a Christmas adventure called St. Baldwin's Magical Workshop. And then there is the next adventure in the series, The Light in the Church, which can be added to The Thing in the Basement, creating a 3-level dungeon with 111 explorable rooms. And if you have a party of between 4 and 6, you should see those characters hit very close. If not hitting level 3, they should be very close to level 3 by the time you complete both of those. Please go to Drive-Thru-RPG. If you like what you see, please give me a comment, give me some stars, give me a review. If you don't like what you see, give me a review. Tell me what you didn't like. Chat away. But yeah, those are available for sale now. So where we left off, you guys, you wreaked a lot of havoc. So not only were you successful in your jailbreak, so you broke out the crew of the Free Sparrow. The Free Sparrow itself, you pretty much decided was a wash. That ship's, last you heard, it was still at the Marduk downport. But you got the crew, and you picked up one additional guy who, he's not really a ship person. He is more of a ground pounding fighter, and he was in solitary confinement. But you didn't leave him there. You said, "Hey, you can come with us," and so he did. And you packed them all up, and on your way out, you just messed up the the Imperial Patrol Corvette, the Sincerity. You hit it with a couple of nukes, which, I mean, that's a crime on a whole other level. You guys are probably going to be public enemy number 1, so you might want to consider at this point using your aliases and your paperwork, and definitely switching that transponder for Capri Sun over to Anubis. And so yeah, you guys jumped and headed for Drinax. And the last time that we talked, you were talking about giving the crew of the Free Sparrow access to the Obi-Wan Jabrobi, your Type S scout. They were going to essentially use it to run some food cargo between Cordan and Tech World. And your plan for the soldier guy that was in solitary confinement was that you were going to take him and drop him off on Cordan. I'm not sure what your orders for him are. I think that the idea was that he was going to basically train your house troops or something like that, or take command of your house troops. Yes to all of the above. But some situations, as far as the food situation goes for Cordan, some of that is going to be problematic. So you've learned that the war on Cordan has escalated far beyond your wildest dreams. It is now a full-blown civil war, to the point where it's full-blown war between Baron Halley and Baron Pharaoh. Um, and they are contesting, border towns. Some of the towns aren't even in the border. Some of them are deeper into territory, things like that. And the situation has gotten so out of control that Baroness Lux, who was your patron, she has started to move her troops in. All this time, all she's been doing is feigning diplomatic interest, and secretly everybody knows. Well, secretly you guys know that she's the one who started all of this shit. But she has been feigning, diplomacy and we need to bring peace back to the world. Well, now it's gotten out of her control, and she has started to move her troops in to fortify her border towns. Hello, Corey. I don't know if he's...
Howdy.
There he is. How was your Christmas?
It sucked. I got my truck stuck in the ice, and then I slipped and I hurt my back for like 4 days.
Oh, shit. Oh, how are you doing now?
My back still hurts, but my truck's safe.
Well, I guess that's at least half better. A quarter better.
I was just walking home from work because my truck was stuck, and I got my Dutch Bros on my way there, and I was like, at least I have this Dutch Bros. And I took like 4 blocks down, slipped, and the Dutch Bros went directly into the storm drain.
Oh, man. Oh, all right. Well.
And my poor hot chocolate.
Well, shit. I hope you end up feeling better. So we were just recapping the last mission, and so the situation on Cordan is pretty bad. So Baroness Lux has now had to move her forces in, not only to fortify her towns, but she has moved her forces into some of the other towns, even in Halley's territory, in order to try and temper down the fighting. Now, and anybody who knows anything about armed conflict, sending forces in to try and cause... There's no such thing as a peacekeeping force. Those are words. They mean nothing. If you send in troops, they're going to use their guns. That's what peacekeeping forces do, is they shoot people. It's the least peaceful thing that you could possibly do. And so that is what's going on. The starport at Cordan has closed their doors, so the Star Town and the starport are closed off now to all ground traffic. That doesn't mean that ships can't come in and land there or take off, but this is a problem for the GDP of the planet, because the farmers can't get their foodstuffs to port, and because the doors are closed. And so that didn't initially cause any real stir. And so then the Imperial Embassy there said that if you guys don't knock it off, we're going to send in troops, and then you'll be sorry. But you know that the reality of that is not nearly as dire as it may sound, because the embassy there has enough troops to barely guard itself, let alone do anything like force a resolution between 3 warring factions. So that sounds more like an empty political threat than anything else. And obviously the Baron Halley doesn't care. He's already under a trade embargo with the Imperium. So go ahead, send in your troops. I don't care. I'm not making any money with you guys anyways. So that's where we left that. And if I remember correctly, I don't remember if it was Ting or if it was Ox, but you were picking up ordered merchandise here on Drinax. I think it was Ox.
No, that was me. I picked up my battle dress.
That's right, your battle dress. That's right.
Yeah, it is the. Let me look at my notes.
The Pioneer battle dress, I believe.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, the Combat Pioneer battle dress. It's on page 33.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. So you are able to pick that up, obviously. Is there any...
I wrote myself a note that says, note to self, buy an air raft, because ours got completely destroyed.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, instead of that, you know, why don't we kind of see if we could get like a Paladin laser grav tank?
What? How'd it get destroyed? I don't know anything to do with that.
Well, here's the problem with I mean, I like where you're going with the idea of the grav tank, but the problem with that is that you only have so much shipping weight that you can carry around in the Harrier, and the shipping weight for the air raft is only 4 tons.
All right, and the grav tank. Let me look. I'm almost to it.
And
It's 80 billion tons.
Yeah.
So.
Keep in mind, the more shipping weight that you...
Oh, no, it's 34 tons.
Yeah, see, that's probably more than the ship can even handle. Yeah, the bigger the shipping weight, then the less cargo you can potentially steal. Because, I mean, that cargo's got to go somewhere, right?
Yeah. We make a lot of money not fucking around with cargo, but I mean we need if we need a place to put our new toys. I guess this. What about the Agile Area Scout attack UAV? It's on page 94 of the vehicle handbook.
Okay.
It's got a shipping of 3 tons, you know, but it comes with a little bit better armor, you know.
It's only a UAV. It doesn't take crew or passengers.
Oh, all right then. Yeah, I'll quit advocating. I guess regular air raft. Boo. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just replace the one we had was really beat up. So this.
Oh yeah.
Will be shiny.
We can. Yeah, this one will be shiny until we get into some shit, but it'll be okay.
I don't know how much an air raft costs though. I wasn't looking.
So an air raft will run you 250,000 credits new.
Okay. Let's see here.
Can I buy 4 more plasma grenades?
Maybe. Let's see here.
I used my last one.
Can I see if I can get us a discount on that air raft through very good brokering skill?
Sure.
Can I use my social rank on this because you know we are here at Drinax?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Go ahead and let me look and see what I got here. So broker, two on the broker, and then another 2 for my social bragging rights. So this will be +4. $11.
Okay. Yeah, you can get that air raft for 180,000.
That is awesome. Thank you.
What does range?
Rexar to here we go again. Hold on, I gotta shut up Alexa here. There we go. So Rexar, make a. It'll be your choice. You can either make a streetwise or a broker plus intellect check.
Oh shit.
Or I mean, if you want somebody else to do it, they can.
Someone else, please.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll see, because plasma grenades sounds like an amazing thing to buy. What could go wrong with that?
Right.
I like that. I like using them. Also, second question. I know it says vehicle mounted, but do you think I could carry a Gatling laser?
No.
Dang
But
it.
there is... Hold that thought. And I'll look something up here. So, on Drinax, you do find one plasma grenade available for sale.
I got it.
Hold on just a moment.
Sorry,
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's all right. One is better than none.
Yeah.
These bastards do 8D damage.
Oh, I wonder if is there nuclear grenades?
No, plasma's the biggest baddest.
Yeah. Well, there's nuclear bullets.
I still got 3 frags and 2 incendiaries.
Yeah, I have some frags and some stunners. I haven't really depleted them too much.
I think I used my one and only stun when you guys were stealing that ship.
Now that I've got battle dress, I feel better about grappling other battle dress people because I've got that unarmed combat skill.
Okay, so
That's the point.
so you got access to one plasma grenade,
Uh-huh.
and then you were asking about the Gatling laser. Well, a Gatling laser is going to be a little bit more than you would be able to carry. However, I don't know. I mean, honestly, you already have a PGMP. I mean, I guess if you don't want to go completely nuclear.
What about the rapid fire machine gun?
You could do rapid fire machine gun. Let me look.
Is there a way that we could possibly buy a pop-up turret or something and have it installed? Do we have on the Harrier? I mean, even if it takes up stuff, something that is not nuclear.
It's already maxed out for weapons.
Yeah. Okay.
Nuh-uh, we could
Look at this.
weld a black powder mortar thing onto it, like a real pirate ship.
I'm fine with having nuclear stuff or whatever.
So there is Corey on, let's see, what page is this? It's page 118 of the Central Supply Catalog. You might want to look at the stagger laser.
Dagger laser. I'm 118. I was on 120. Stagger laser rifle.
It's basically a machine gun laser.
I was looking at the page 125, the rapid fire machine gun.
Right. Yeah, I figured you would. But this of course would be an option as well. And it's got auto 3.
Would it be just a TL12 one, or?
That's a good question. You'd have to make another broker plus. Well, he got a 14 on his check. I would say that with a 14, I mean that's pretty amazing. Let's see here. Yeah, he made a formidable check. So I would say that if you wanted to buy the TL14 version, you could.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like to envision this. Like I'm in there trying to get it from the military surplus shop, and hey, I really like that staggered laser, and I really don't have it, and oh, you sure, and he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I go, oh damn, and I pull out my scrotum and go, man, I said in gum, what the hell, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I do have one. And he brings it out because of the gum in his chair.
So yeah, stagger laser rifle will set you back 15K.
That's a lot of money.
It is, but it's really worth it.
I can't afford it, but I'm gonna be really poor afterwards.
You'll make more money.
I'll get it.
Can I
A big new gun and a big new hammer.
Yeah.
Nice. Can I purchase the little odds and ends I need to go ahead and get my assassin droid up and running?
Yeah.
You said I kind of rebuilded that. I just had to purchase some things. How much do you want to tax me for that?
Oh, let's see. You know, it's funny you say that because I said to myself, Self, you're not going to need to open the robot handbook.
Oh, hell yeah, you are. I got an assassin droid.
Yep. Let's see here.
So I have an idea for like a drive-by thing to do if we happen to go by the world. What's more, we were thinking about getting like a telescope, not necessarily a huge one, but maybe we could poke a hole in it and jam the telescope eye hole in there and like seal it up and drive away. And like someone will eventually notice and look through it. And chaos.
Just stick it the lens over a window. Hey, what's
Yeah.
going on out here?
Oh my, yeah, that would blow their mind. So that's just a wish fulfillment thing I will do someday when we go by the world.
Yeah,
but
someday you guys you're gonna want to go back to the world and blow their minds. That's been like on your short list. So
yeah, I still think about it like every Wednesday, or at least
that's on my wish list. So yeah, I'm going to say, man, it was pretty bashed up. I would say that if you spent another 8,000, you would get enough parts that you could kind of finish putting this assassin droid back together.
I deducted it from my character sheet before you finished talking.
All right.
Yeah.
We also need to fill our missile rack.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're down a bunch of nuclear missiles. How many of those you got left?
Honestly, I can't remember for sure. I
thought we only spent half of them.
I think we used at least 10, but I can't remember if it was 12 or if we did 9.
I want to say that you had like 4 left.
Okay.
Out of the 12. So
that sounds right to me.
So that means you would need to buy 8 more. Those are going to be a little bit more difficult to get.
We're probably going to have to wait till we go to like Thebes to get those.
Yeah, we could replace them temporarily with regular missiles.
I thought we already had those. Like, yeah, I didn't think we bought.
Yeah, you've got close to full racks for the standard missiles. You haven't really fired that many of them.
Okay.
All right, good.
Hold on here. I'm just double checking. Where's my list of missiles? Here we go. Oof. Whew. Nukes are expensive. Like per missile, you're looking at 450,000 credits. The ones that you had, you found.
We probably need to go find some more.
Yeah, maybe find some more. Yeah. What the hell is a shockwave missile? That sounds cool. Oh it gets rid of sand. Nice. So yeah, that'll run you. That's something. And that's so 450,000. That's government military cost. So if you buy those on Thieve, I could easily see those running, because that's complete black market item. I could easily see those running $1 million a pop. 1 mega credit each is not beyond the realm of reason.
Maybe we need to make some money.
Well, yeah, that's what you're working towards. But there is some good news. So the piece of good news is that while you guys are shopping around, you guys are up here in the bazaar in number 2. Of course, your ships, all 3 of them are docked up here in 1, which is the rail docks. And I have gotten this wrong in the past, but I will bring this up now. So it's 7 down here. This is the starport docks, and the starport docks, and probably most of starport control, or parts of starport control, are not functional anymore. Those sections of the floating palace were destroyed when the Aslan bombed Drinax from the sky. So all port traffic goes through the royal docks now, which, I mean, that's not that big of a deal. But the not that Drinax gets a ton of traffic. And so you guys are meandering around shopping at the bazaar and picking up what you want. You find an air raft that they tell you can be delivered, to the Anubis, and a royal courier from the throne room hunts you down, Captain, and he finds you in the bazaar, and it's just a young kid. He is out of breath, and he brings a I guess a hollow recording, and this hollow recording tells you that your pirates were successful in in scuttling, or in shipbreaking the Donosev class scout ship that you found in orbit around BT SHT 365, and they have fenced the parts. They basically did exactly what you told them to do, and you can add to your ship fund, or split it however you would like. There is 1.3 million credits that you can divvy up and add to the ship fund.
Does anybody need anything right now, or?
So I mean, if you wanted, let's see here.
So I've added to the ship fund just so I don't forget.
So are you still doing that for 7 shares?
I think I just stuck it in the ship thing, but
Okay.
I
Well,
guess,
I mean,
I think we should take that money and buy nuclear missiles with it.
if you, well,
you can buy like 2 then.
so
I don't.
yeah, I mean, it's not that many missiles, but if you were to divide it up by 7, that's still 185,714 credits per person.
Would you guys
With one of those shares, one person being the ship fund. So I mean, that would make you all quite wealthy. Or you can kind of lower that amount a little bit, and you could divide it by 8 and give the ship the extra.
Okay, let's just divide it up into 7. It was 100,000. How much?
185,000
Each. Okay.
714 each.
185. All right.
Since we've got this newfound money, and we are supposed to be pirating and all that, are there any biological weapons for sale that maybe we could unleash on one of these factions that we don't like?
So,
as the ship's doctor, I'm going to advise against that.
yes. So
Just catch me.
Okay.
there is a. I mean, if somebody were to overhear you say that, anybody from the Trojan Reach, they would turn pale and look at you like you've lost your mind. So, bioweapons in the Trojan Reach are very taboo because the Empire of Sindal, of course, used bioweapons against their own people. And so even King Oleb wants really very little to do with bioweapons. He doesn't trust them. He doesn't like the idea of it. He probably wouldn't say no if some fell into his lap, but he would be quite cautious about how he used them. King Oleb.
I thought it was the Geneva suggestion.
Yes,
Oh.
the Geneva. Yes,
We also destroyed a bioweapon at some point earlier in the game.
Yes. Yeah.
Simply because it was a bioweapon.
Yeah, and that weapon had been found on Noricum, which Noricum's original name was Sindal. It was the Sindalian capital, and it's so bad that there are entire sections of the planet that you can't land because there's still 2,000 years later, there's still a biological nest of terrible disease. So, bioweapons are not impossible, but very. You're probably not going to find any for sale in the Trojan Reach.
Okay. Thank you.
So you guys have done your shopping. Is there any? I mean, now you did make some money on that. If you were supposed to, hold on here. I'll tell you how much it is. So theoretically speaking, out of that 1.3 million, off the top, you should give Oleb 130,000. Because that's his cut, which would then leave you with $1,170,000 divided by 7. I'm sorry. So that number, each of you would actually make 167,143 is what you actually made, and that's giving Oleb his cut.
Any way you could just tell us the difference in what you originally told us that we got and what we really got, so I could just subtract that number from what I
maybe
did?
What was the original number I gave you?
185.
It was 185, 714.
Okay.
I think.
I've worked long and hard to learn how to be difficult.
So yeah, just subtract 18,571 and you're even.
Thank you. So, are we about to head back to Cauldron and see if we can manipulate this war to wrap up, or was there another direction?
Yeah, it is entirely up to you guys, but Yeah, there was a lot of talk about where you wanted to head to next. Wrapping up Cordan was kind of the idea at the time.
We've got, I mean, we've got only so long before the Imperium fleet comes hunting for us very violently.
That's true.
Yeah, hanging out on Cordan with our fake identities for a little while seems like it might be a good idea.
We could probably even take the shenanigans there
Yeah,
and stash the Anubis if we wanted to.
you could certainly do.
Especially considering, I mean, is Ching Shi still in hiatus for a minute?
I guess she is. I haven't heard from her. The last that I heard was that she was she's currently working all closing shifts, so yeah, she's kind of stuck at the moment. So she's trying to figure out her life schedule, and she's hoping that once the holidays are done, that things will even out a bit.
So the shenanigans flies itself if need be.
It can, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
The captain and I both have covered some of her skills. The captain can pilot, and I have astrogation.
Okay.
Excellent.
I like the idea of bringing those shenanigans along.
We'll just let the heat die down on the Capri Sun. I mean, technically, we didn't even use a transponder at all that last round. We just kind of snuck up in there and put something down on them and talk shit.
So the downside, though, I mean, even with a different transponder, the downside of the Harrier is that it is a very unique ship. There's not a whole lot of these things flying around, even in the Trojan Reach. And so it's going to draw attention.
Maybe we could just take shenanigans, all of us, over there.
That is perfectly acceptable.
I think
sounds good.
Yeah, let's make that the plan.
Should we switch our names, or do you think we want to wait on that? I'm kind of the opinion at this point that we're a known quantity, and maybe we should change our names.
Yeah, that might be a good idea to use those identities, because it was one thing to do the jailbreak, but the assault of a Imperial patrol corvette and the use of nuclear arms was that you guys are public enemy number one.
Yeah, let's use our fake IDs for a little while.
We can have our identities attached more to the ship we're using. You know, I mean, we could go with our new identities here on the shenanigans, but when we jump back on the Capri Sun or the Anubis or whatever, you know, we could switch back to our dastardly self and be pirate, right?
You could do it that way, yeah.
I mean,
I would say that sooner or later, though, somebody's going to put 2 and 2 together.
True.
The idea is to get Drinax recognized before that happens, so we get the free pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the goal, right?
Well, that is the goal. Yeah. Yeah. That is the goal. So, while you guys are bopping around the mart or the bazaar here, go ahead and make somebody make a streetwise plus intellect check.
Who's streetwise?
I have streetwise.
I sucked that roll.
Let's see.
I rolled 8.
8 will do it.
Oh, I rolled not good. Ignore me.
So you. Hold on here. Here we go. So, Keith, just out of curiosity, what did Rexar get?
You really want to know?
Well, I am going to say that Rexar, you can make this check with a boon. So you can roll another dice and tell me if that is going to put you over the top. Because you just want to get...
It went from a -2 to a 3.
Okay, so you still don't get any information. But, so, Keith, you're shopping around. I would imagine, Keith, you're probably looking for... Oh, that's right. There is some repairs that need to be done to the Harrier. We're going to say to the tune of 50,000, and that should put her hull back into operational shape. I know Keith made some quick repairs, plugging holes and whatnot that had pierced the hull, but yeah, 50,000 will put her back into complete operational shape. But while Keith is kind of over at the Royal Docks talking to crews about that, you overhear that some of the dock workers, mechanics and technicians and whatnot, you overhear them just kind of gossiping back and forth with one another that there is a captain in the ACES system that is named Captain Val Treadwell, and he is looking to hire a group of travelers for a very a fairly delicate trade mission. And he has a ship already. He just needs a crew to fly it.
Interesting.
Delicate.
I will tell the captain about this.
Okay. So yeah, ACES, and I'm not sure if I even have it on my map. Let me double check. Perhaps not. Hold on here. Oh, I got a better idea. Let me do it this way. What? No way. There's a traveler map or traveler map app now? Oh, no way. That's awesome. Where have you been all my life? Okay, so... oh, this is cool. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, it is. It is on my map. Here it is. So ACES is right here.
In the Dust Belt.
Yeah, it is in the middle of the Dust Belt. And so the information that you are getting as far as what this mission entails, when they're talking about, how delicate this mission is, the one guy kind of whispers to the other one. He says, I hear that that the crew that's being hired to pilot this ship are actually, the cargo is actually human refugees.
Hmm.
Refugees. Huh. Interesting.
So that's all you know about it, is you've got the guy's name, Val Treadwell, and that they're hiring somebody for a delicate mission that may or may not be trafficking human refugees.
Well, if we don't like where they're taking the refugees, we can always dump them on fantasy and take the ship.
That's true. Yes, you can. There's always room on fantasy.
I do like ships. I like to collect ships.
Well, you guys are
I would
pirates.
I'd be trying to steal one here if it wasn't that we were in Drinax.
Well, yeah, most of the ships in Drinax, except for the Rasputin, most of the ships in Drinax are really not that great.
Right. Well, we got some kind of claim to the Rasputin, just really way down the totem pole. But I mean,
Right.
yeah.
So there is that option open to you as well.
We could send the people we rescued and the mercenary dude to the war in the Jabroni. They could use it to like shuttle food if they want.
Okay.
And that guy could train troops. We could go do this thing instead. I don't know if I want to fight in the war right now. I'm pretty tired.
I'm worn out.
I mean, we can also maybe have them set the groundwork so that way, just let them know that the Drinax owned port, to select friends can move their goods, their food goods through our port and our little scout. And God, if we have another pirate ship that we could redirect from its current salvaging mission, I believe they had wrapped that up. Is that right?
Right. Well, that crew.
Oh, they're all on Tech World.
No, they are actually over on Borite. Because you guys have a space station that you built or rebuilt around the gas giant at Borite.
We could stop at Borite on the way to Asus if we're going to Asus.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, because I mean, we need to get our thing over there at Thieves. Our fleet needs to start going and providing security over on Thieves too. I mean, because that was kind of part of the deal. We had this armada that was going to provide temporary thing, and then they were going to cover the costs of all these fucking pirates.
And that was Tech World.
Yeah, that was
right. Tech World. Oh yeah, sorry. Thieves, Tech World.
Yeah,
start with a T.
So yeah, that's true. I would say probably about half your forces are actually at Borite. The other half over on Tech World doing what you promised. And so yeah, I mean you got your money back. The salvage crew that went and salvaged the Donasev are on Borite. You've got a number of ships. I believe there were like 4 or 5 over in Tech World in the process of replacing Jadeco forces. And so yeah, I mean, you could take this job over on Aces, but the situation on Cordan is going to continue to degrade. I mean, it wasn't so much that you were going to go to Cordan to fight a war. You were going to go to Cordan to try to negotiate some kind of peace deal. Even if it's at the end of a nuclear missile.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Fair
But I
enough.
mean, it's completely up to you which direction you want to go. But the situation on, just as a warning, the situation on Cordan could devolve into a rather serious debacle.
I would like to get the food, if we could, to negotiate a deal on Cordan or work that out, even, whatever. But if we could have the food go through our town and then ship in there, we would get a tax of all that commerce coming in. And then, maybe someday along, maybe our tribute to the king will fix his damn palace up. We keep raising the amount we give him. I mean, I'm hoping he's buying new toys that are worth something.
Oh,
Princess.
He has been in the process of working towards building Drinax back up. But you have to realize how deep of a hole Drinax has been in. So getting to even is the hard part.
It sounds like we might need to try to get some special engineers hired and to Drinax, try to maybe do some work on its atmosphere, maybe try to scrub it clean a little bit or do something. I mean, I know there are ways to make toxic stuff better over time. I mean,
well, Tech World or Tech World's the one to really talk to. I was trying to remember the other one, and you guys were just there. And I'm like drawing a blank.
Oh, Palindrome or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't Palindrome. That was what I was going to say too. It's not.
Oh, that place where we had all the biotechnical attacks and all that. The Hidden World.
Newman.
Yeah.
So yeah, Newman. But honestly, some of Newman's best scientists were the rogue scientists, and they went to Tech World. So, and you've got Tech World in your back pocket. So if you wanted to try and get some scientists over to Drinax to see about, I mean, at this point, you're not completely beyond just doing a complete terraform. Drinax is pretty fucked up.
Well, let's look into that. I think we should wait on that.
Okay.
I don't think we're ready to do that. But
I'm just brainstorming. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
We should go to Cordan.
Yeah, let's go to Cordan.
We don't have to be warlords. I mean, if we're taking the shenanigans, we could go into peaceful pirate type things and just play like a diplomatic role and try to stabilize the planet and put ourselves in a situation to make profit,
right?
And get food sent where we want it,
right? Okay. So, is there anything else that you want to do on Drinax before you leave?
We're putting the air raft on the shenanigans.
You can, actually, shenanigans. Let me double check this, but I think it's already got an air raft.
Oh, that would be great.
Hold on here, and I will tell you.
It's also got an upgrade on our cargo space. I think it's got more cargo than the Harrier.
Here is shenanigans. Yes, it does. It has an air raft. It is in the forward docking bay.
Nice.
Yeah, so we can. Yeah. It's got low bars.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's got a medical bay. Yeah. That's a nice little ship. 40 tons of cargo.
It is an Empress Morava that has been massively upgraded and modified over the past 200 years.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, that's it. I'm ready to go when everybody else is, unless,
Okay. Rexar, is there anything else you wanted to try to purchase?
I want to purchase all the cool armor and stuff.
But
I
don't know, your armor's pretty cool already.
Yeah, it doesn't mean don't want more.
Well, you know, you, you're like the Aslan version of the guy from Goodfellas when he opens his closet. Instead of all these suits, they're just all these different suits of armor hanging in your closet.
Damn right.
Now I thought. Hold on here. That's the Rasputin. Oh yeah, here it is. So here are Shenanigans deck plans. We don't need these. Okay. That was back when I was making the deck plans really big for, I don't know, reasons. So yeah, this is the deck plans for Shenanigans. Your air raft sits right up here on the upper deck. Your bridge. And then, of course, staterooms and rather large cargo hold. She's a nice ship. So, who wants to make the obfuscation check?
Keith will do that.
Okay. So you can add a +2 to that check automatically off the top because Shenanigans will assist you.
Oh, nice. Uh, 14.
Okay. And who's piloting?
Probably me.
I will.
Okay, so make a piloting plus dex check.
That's 11.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, so Beth takes off in Shenanigans, and you guys leave the floating palace behind. And about... Hold on here, and I'll tell you. I'm terrible with travel times. That's one of the few things that I have not really memorized. So at thrust 4, it takes you about 34 hours to get to the 100 diameter jump limit. And so let's see here. So Keith, you can make a jump drive plus intellect check with a +3.
$15.
Nice. All right, and you guys are in jump. Now let me double check here with my fancy new app. Cordan. 1, 2, 3. So 4 weeks worth of jump time, and I won't make you do more rolls. There's really no need. You guys have you've pulled the old Grand Theft Auto of parking your car in the garage and leaving in another car, and now the stars are all gone. The cops aren't after you anymore. And 4 weeks later, during this time in jump, I'm assuming that you guys are probably doing as much frontier refueling as you can. You do have to stop over at well, no, you don't. Let's see. Yeah, you'd have to stop over at Clark. So yeah, you're looking at about 6 weeks total time of transit total, and you during this time you guys kind of have a chance to get to know Shenanigans just a little bit better, since this is really the first time that you've been piloting the ship uh, without Dame Coraline Petrovsky around. And, you know, Shenanigans is kind of a little put out that that Coraline just gave her away to you guys. Uh, and of course, Shenanigans doesn't view herself as she does view herself as a ship, but she views herself as an individual, as a person. And so that's a little bit like a bit of a I don't know, kind of a betrayal in her eyes. Not that she has anything against you guys. You guys have treated her well so far. I mean, she even got a pressure wash while she was at the Royal Docks. But yeah, that does stick it with her a little bit. But so you get to know her a little bit better, and after about 6 weeks, you know, with refueling and everything else, you finally reach Cordan. Now, when you get to Cordan, the first thing that comes up is that the starport is currently closed to ground traffic. Just an immediate automated warning is broadcast out about every 15 minutes, warning all traffic in the system that Cordan Starport is closed to ground traffic. And the reason for this warning, of course, is that you know, if you're landing and expecting to take possession of cargo, it may not be there because the people on the planet can't get it into the starport because they've closed their doors. And you are, of course, the first thing that comes up is that the system is currently amber zoned due to civil unrest. So even the Travelers Aid Society is like, yeah, it's not a good place to go to vacation right now. It's, you know, downtown Beirut. But you can land. Now, where did you want to land? I mean, do you want to go directly to your own personal palace, your private estate, or do you want to go to the starport? It's up to you. Or do you want to go to Baroness Lux's palace? You could do that too.
I think I want to see how our people are doing in our town.
Okay.
That's what I think too. Yeah, that's
all right. So this is a F4V, F45, and Cordan is about 4 AU out. Man, that's a long ways. So. Shit.
I mean, I could maybe should we radio ahead to our people and let them know that we're coming and prepare the air for us? You know?
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, I'm asking the captain.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you try to radio, and the first thing that you immediately recognize is that the entire communication system on the ground side of the planet is a complete soup of different jamming techniques. But you can go ahead and make a communications plus intellect or education check to cut through the garbage.
Does the ship give any bonus?
I believe it does. Let's see here. It has military grade sensors. Doesn't say anything about comms though. Does have holographic controls though. Nope.
How about an 11?
That will do it. So you are able to cut through and get a link up with your estate. Are you just telling them what are you saying here?
Oh, I'm telling them that, you know, there's a lot of information that we're trying to accomplish. If we're trying to get all the trade and food stuff to start going through our port, they should really put a lot of efforts into making that ready. But immediately we're approaching, and I'll give them, we're on the shenanigans, and you should be ready for us.
Get your harlots out of our beds.
Yeah, well, we're coming to see what your work is, and we're hoping that you proved your citizenry worth it.
Oh shit! Mom and Dad are coming home. Everybody look busy.
Yeah.
So, you get confirmation and are told that your landing berth will be ready, and you are specifically told that the situation at the palace has been made ready for your arrival, and you receive a data packet of what is the most current information, tactical information on the ground side. And so this is the map that they send you, and this is essentially a war map. And it is showing where all of the current three barons' forces are located. Now, you guys, your private estate is all the way up here to the north. But down here, most of the fighting is happening in the territory of Baron Halley, and you can see that Pharaoh and Halley's forces are engaged together, fighting over various towns, and you can see that Lux's forces have moved into various areas and are currently fighting over towns. The situation, like I said, originally Baroness Lux had said that she was going to move her forces into border towns along the border that bordered with her territory, but that, because there's no such thing as a peacekeeping force, that has not worked, and she has been drawn further into the battle, whether she wanted to or not. So this is the current state of the situation here, and of course this isn't the entire planet. This is pretty much one small hemisphere, but yeah, it's not it's all sorts of messed up is what it is. So, and please excuse, this is a little bit of a fantasy map. They haven't, I used Incarnate, and they haven't updated to their sci-fi maps as of yet. But here we are with your palace and its ugly throw rugs. And so, yeah, you guys sat down, and Captain, go ahead and make another piloting plus dex check.
Oh, 12.
Very nice. So you set her down on your landing pad, and when you come in, the palace is, or fortress, I keep calling it a palace, but I mean, it's a 3-story castle of some type. It is far cleaner than you expected, and when you get out into this mud room, the airlock section, you are greeted by the town mayor that you guys talked with before you left, and as soon as you come through the door, he shakes all of your hands and he tells you the current situation on the planet. He gives you an update, tells you that in your absence, he has taken it upon himself to make sure that the castle is re-provisioned and cleaned up for your use. And he's got an administration staff already working in the offices upstairs. And he has taken it upon himself to put some of the militia in guard positions as well. Now,
Cool.
did you bring your freed mercenary with you?
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, the mayor has not met him before, and I mean, this guy has the personality of granite. He's very he's a very hard man. He's got cold blue eyes. Like you look at his face, you're like, oh, that guy has killed some people. I mean, there's just no other way of putting it. But I mean, once you get to know him, he does have a personality. He does seem like an all right guy, but you can tell that there would be nothing to stop him from snapping and going the other direction real quick. And so the mayor's a little put off by this guy. And so I guess the big question for you guys is, what capacity do you want to put him in?
I thought he could train people.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that seemed like the best thing to use him for.
I think we should double on top of that. If the whole place is in turmoil and everything right now, some raiding parties might be suitable to go get a lot of the produce that we need to send the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And say that any of the shit that him and his militia guys go raid and bring in, we'll give him 10% of the profits.
Okay, well that certainly perks up his interest. So, Captain, if that's the direction you want to go, Captain, you can make a leadership roll, and you can make that with advantage. Or advantage. You make that with a boon. Getting my games mixed up.
Well, they are all 5s, so I got 11.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to set about. He's already got a working plan. He is going to set about training, and he says that you're going to have to be patient, but training's probably, if you want it done quickly, he could probably have some troops ready to do raids like what you're saying in a week to 2 weeks. He said ideally it would be 8 weeks, but if we're in a hurry, he can get them functional in a week to 2 weeks. But he says in that week to 2 weeks worth of training, you're going to have to be okay with high losses. Like, we might lose a third of the troops.
I really think as maintaining as large as fighting force as possible. I mean, we're not Russian here, right?
No, we're not. We could try and do peace talks and delay stuff too if we want.
Yeah, if you can do, he tells you if you can open up peace negotiations while he's doing training, the more training he can give these troops, the better.
Okay, yeah, we should do that. We could be diplomats from the Kingdom of Drinax.
And if we're getting our guys, I mean, it would take longer than 8 weeks for us to get our pirates here to start funneling this food.
That's true. It's going to take It's going to take at least close. It's going to take probably about 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we have to have the ability to refuel these fuckers. I guess we can maybe lay a pipeline to siphon water straight out of the closest body of water.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's already set up with this landing pad. That's exactly what they do. Is they have a fuel processor. They just pump the water directly into the fuel processor, and it refuels your ship. So.
Yeah, I mean, that at least gets money eventually coming into our pockets, is what I'm thinking.
So how how do we go about trying to make a peace negotiation?
Well, you have a couple of options on the table. The first would be, and this is not necessarily the best option, but the first option, of course, would be to fly down to Lux's fortress land and essentially listen to her lies and bullshit, and let her try. Now, this would, of course, this ultimately would be the best outcome for her, and thus for you. Let her be the one to kind of broach the subject of, starting these peace talks, and essentially making it look like she's the one who's setting this up, and you guys are the ones that are mediating. The other option would be to go to Cordan's starport and instead go directly to the Imperial ambassador and say, look, we represent the Kingdom of Drinax. We're here in official capacity. We want to broker a peace deal, and let the Imperial ambassador send out the word. Now, that would also bring Lux to the table, but she's not going to come out ahead in this. Because, of course, if you do that, then, of course, the Imperial ambassador is going to be overlooking, he's going to be overcharged of this entire process. Whereas if you did it through Lux, she'll be in charge of the entire process, which means that eventually the ideal situation which she's going to maneuver for herself would be that she comes out on top.
See, that's where I was kind of thinking when I've been suggesting everything I've suggested is that, our end game is to bypass that starport entirely and build our own personal starport where all the trade is going through our hands. I mean, right? That's kind of what that would be the best ideal end game for us here. And if Lux was managing all that, that's less shit we would have to deal with. In theory, our best situation is we come by once every now and then, or they mail us a fucking check. I mean,
yeah, that sounds good to me. I would rather go with the way that gives Baroness Lux upper hand.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, if you went through the Imperial ambassador, that's not necessarily going to work great for you, because that means the Empire is going to have more of an eye on Cordan than they already do, which they've got enough of an eye on Cordan. So
we're just trying to avoid Imperial entanglements,
right?
Real.
So, yeah, you guys bust out. Are you flying over there, or are you taking the air raft? How do you guys want to do it?
I guess it depends on if the Shenanigan wants to fly or she wants to rest.
Shenanigans doesn't care. She's okay with flying.
Okay, I'll have the Shenanigans fly us over.
Okay. So, you guys kind of cruise on over, and then, then the question is, so when you step off the ship, in what capacity? I mean, are you guys in dress uniform? What are you? How are you guys going to do this?
We got to have some kind
of... So keep in mind, Lux knew when this was part of the conversation when she hired you, that she knew that you had something to do with the Kingdom of Drinax. She didn't know, that you guys had dress uniforms, or that you were the real deal, that you are a formal part of Drinax.
Yeah, I was gonna wear our dress uniforms so we look fancy.
Okay. So you guys are in Sindalian dress regalia. I imagine it's probably crimson uniforms with gold brocade, and you probably all have a chest full of medals that for campaigns that you never fought in, because you borrowed these uniforms out of somebody else's locker.
Could I have a Serenity medal printed up for us?
Oh, a sincerity medal. Oh man. Yeah, you probably could. It won't be ready in time though. But yeah, you could probably have one of those printed up for you.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead if it's okay and just
the Battle of Marduk ribbon.
Oh fuck yeah! I wanna. What if I spent like $26,000 on having a really badass fucking Serenity medal custom made for us back on Drinax?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Is that a fair price to have a really badass you?
I would think so. In fact, it's so badass. It's made of iridium.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm doing that because I love to rub shit in the Imperial's face. They might kill me, but I'm gonna have a badass medal on my chest when they do.
So are you? So this 26,000. That's enough for everybody to get this medal.
Fuck yeah! Everybody that was on our ship,
okay.
and I'm talking about the pirates that we rescued that were on there when fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking. Yeah, I think maybe the king might be cool enough to fucking do a formal party presentation when we come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you guys Shenanigans lands at Lex's fortress, and you guys step off in your dress regalia. Now I would assume also that you're going full dress regalia, which would mean sidearms and maybe officers' swords, if you've got them. Now, Captain, how does that apply to Rexar?
My axe is my officer's sword.
Yeah, we'll glue a bunch of shit to it to make it look more official.
We'll bedazzle his axe. Oh shit!
Thing for him to, I don't know, a sheath. How do you sheath an axe? There's no.
He'll keep it in his loincloth.
I will bring my piston glove.
Oh, just in case,
I mean, I could have it folded over my little waistband, my belt, my webbing. I could just kind of have it kind of tucked in there and fold it over.
Yeah.
Like, the Marines do their white gloves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Rexar has a sidearm other than the axe. I mean, not that he really desperately needs one. Corey, does Rexar have a pistol?
Surprisingly, no. It's all big rifles.
I figured as much. So Rexar's just got his axe.
That's fine. That's all he needs.
That's true. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't go with the dress version of your gigantic vehicular damage hammer, but so you guys step off, and Lux, of course, being the self-important bitch that she is not there to greet you. She sends an aide, and you all step off in Sindalian uniforms, and his jaw drops, and he immediately goes to his assistant and is whispering in a hushed hurry and telling his assistant to run along. And he comes walking up and he says, "Greetings, Captain. I didn't expect you to arrive in such a state."
We're here from the Kingdom of Drinax to try to end the bloodshed, so I'm putting my best self forward.
he says, "Oh, certainly. Come this way. Come this way." And you see the assistant come running back, and whispers in his ear, and he says, "Oh, the Baroness will see you in her war room." And so he leads you through the palace of the Baroness, and the dining hall that you had originally come and met the Baroness in has been completely converted. There's now a hollow table where the dining table used to be, and this map is up on the table, and she is there are 3 other people in the room, all in military uniforms, and she is talking to the most senior of them, a general, and they are discussing moving forces and whatnot. And they all kind of stop talking when you guys step in Sindalian uniforms, and she kind of lets out a little laugh, and she says, "So, is the Sindalian Empire going to come and bomb us into submission?"
Fuck around and find out. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'll chuckle politely at her suggestion.
That's
of course.
Crossed my mind.
Yeah.
We got 4 more of those, right? So
We're trying to refrain from nukes right now. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Those are expensive.
We're on the wagon.
Yeah. We're really wanting to promote trade that is in our favor, and you know.
Yeah, irradiated wheat fields are not a good merchandise. So she shows you the map, and she says, she says at this point, the little scheme has worked too well. And she says the balance began to kind of flip. Originally we thought that Baron Halley was going to, of course, because he has the access to the paramilitary troops, that he was going to kind of steamroll over Baron Pharaoh. And or at the very least that there would be, an even match, and they would just stand off. I never intended for this to go beyond border skirmishes, and it has now become all-out war between the 2 of them. And it doesn't seem like anything that I say is going to put an end to this. She says some of these towns along, up here along Pharaoh's border have attempted to switch sides once or twice. This town on my border here has attempted to switch sides once or twice. So the people are not happy. And she says, and then I heard that word came out from your territory that you were making all of your people actual citizens and counting them in the census of the planet. Is that true?
It sure is.
The three generals kind of chuckle and are like, oh, but they're just, you don't want them to think they're people.
All right. Anyway,
she says we're getting beyond this. She says I need you to kind of get this situation under some semblance of control. The GDP of the planet is at risk because the starport has closed down to ground traffic. She says it was never my intention to cause, I don't want a polarized planet where there's only 2 barons in charge of the planet. I was happy with 3, but I wanted to be on top. And she says, I just want there to be an illusion of a balance of power, but I want myself in a position over all of them. She says, so far, all I've done is reinforce my own militia along the borders. I've made diplomatic overtures about reconciliation and limiting the conflict. And unfortunately, the pot continues to stir. She says, I've had to move my own troops in order to secure towns on my own border, which they were attacked, and that led to having to advance on these two towns in order to, in order to quell the uprising and to stop the Baron Halley's and Pharaoh's forces from coming back. She says, this is a mess. If you can't fix this, then I'm going to retake the territory that I gave you as reward. This is not at all what I hired you to do.
How about you begin by starting to take your food stores that you were trying to sell through the starport and start sending them to our fortress. So that way when our fleet guys come through, they can transport and sell your goods on Tech World. We're going to cut the Imperium out.
We probably got to fix it before she'll agree to do anything.
Well,
I mean, if she starts sending her shit there and getting that on the way for when our ships come, that they can get that food and get it moving, we can talk to these other things and start seeing about ceasefires.
She doesn't have a problem with sending as much as, like, from her territory, as much as 20% of their food output to your fortress to send to Tech World. She doesn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
But she doesn't want, and she's not going to do it until this situation is taken care of. But she doesn't want to, she doesn't like the idea of completely cutting the Imperium out. Because cutting the Imperium completely out will screw over the global economy for Cordan as well. You got to figure her Halley and Pharaoh's tech level comes from trade with the Imperium. So if you cut them out, all of a sudden their tech level 9 now becomes tech level 5, just like the rest of the citizens on the planet. And the citizens on the planet who have tech level 5 are going to drop into the Stone Age.
Can't Tech World help balance that? I mean, there's a lot of giving.
Probably, but I mean, you haven't really negotiated that with Tech World.
So I want to propose like borders that she'd be comfortable with, just to know that, and then see if we can speak to the other barons and see if they're comfortable redrawing their boundaries in exchange for ceasefire. See if we can get anywhere with the talking route.
Okay.
You want to talk to Pharaoh first, or do you want to go try to approach Halley? Halley looks to be more pressured right now, but
yeah, because they got it coming from both sides.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
these white dotted lines are their borders. And of course, at the north of Baroness Lux's territory, this border kind of is the edge of Imperial starport territory. But technically speaking, the Cordan starport falls under the Baroness's territory, but there's just a line there to show that there is an Imperial embassy there. But yeah, I don't know what you were thinking of as far as redrawing lines, or do you want to send overtures to both Halley and Pharaoh at the same time and have them meet at Lux's fortress?
If they'll agree to that, then sure, that'd be fine.
Okay, so Well, first of all, somebody's going to have to make a communications plus intellect check to break through jamming to send the message.
I think Ting has the best communications, right?
10.
Okay, so you are able to get through their jamming, and you're able to make contact with both Hallie's fortress here and Pharaoh's fortress up here. And Captain, what are you saying to invite them?
That we come as a neutral third party from the Kingdom of Drinax to try and cease the bloodshed and save Cordan from all-out war.
Okay. Are you now? You had kind of briefly discussed becoming or joining part or as a part of the Kingdom of Drinax. Are you going to extend that offer to Hallie and Pharaoh as well?
Sure.
Okay. Make a diplomacy check plus intellect. Or no, you can make if you would like. You can make your diplomacy check plus your social modifier if it's higher than your intellect.
Didn't do so hot. 6.
Okay, so so that is not that bad.
We're just asking to come to the table, right?
So
I mean,
Baron Pharaoh agrees to meet at Lux's fortress. Baron Hallie basically laughs and hangs up on you.
why don't we invite them all?
He says something along the lines of that he doesn't believe that there's going to be a new Kingdom of Drinax. That this seems like a complete waste of time, and he's got a war to fight.
The dude in the middle said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe if we kill him, the guy in the middle, and then both Pharaoh and Lux divide his territory up, and we can give Lux the king's share of that, and that would bring peace.
It
And
could be a weird Baron situation over here too. Then there'll be 3.
right, we will be Baron Drinax. We will represent that and so there will still be 3, but we have missiles.
Yeah, that's the solution I'll propose. Since that guy won't come to the table, even though he's in the center, so that was like really dumb. But
Has he seen an Aslan airdrop before?
So, and this is something that just occurred to me. Because of the estate, and I don't remember if I did or not, but did I give Rexar a +1 to his territory?
I think so.
A new one? No. Another one? No. I'm still at +5.
So you get a. So what is your territory score though?
I have it written down as just +5.
Okay, so you can add a 1 to your territory score.
Ooh. So I'm at +6.
You are at +6.
See, if we like where I drew that line, kind of roughly somewhere in there.
Yeah.
If we offered to give that to Pharaoh on his side of the line, and then Lux gets all that other stuff, which is will be another fortress there, right? So that fulfills that, and Pharaoh, gets like what 1, 2, 3 towns. One of them's kind of contested on the border there.
Yeah.
So that there's a gain for Pharaoh, and then there's a nice gain for Lux in territory and stuff, and and then we get ours established as well. I mean, because we have missiles.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the shenanigans have? Let's see. It does have a double missile rack, or it has a missile rack and sandcaster and a double beam laser turret.
Yeah.
So those
we
are,
can put.
it just has standard missiles, but I mean, you know.
Standard missiles will definitely make a town stop fighting.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I mean, so is this the proposal you're making to Pharaoh?
This is the proposal that I'm making to the captain to make to the Pharaoh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take over. I haven't really been all along. Almost everything I had in my mind is that, I'm just throwing out suggestions. And if you don't like them, I'm not going to cry. So
this will be the quick way to do it. The long way would be to make a perimeter and do economic sanctions and blah blah blah. It would just take forever. So I guess that's an option, but I don't know why they would pick that when this will probably.
What if we take out all the barons? That's an idea.
That was a thought that I had too. Is
just kill everybody and take it over yourselves.
Get them all to come to this meeting and totally red wedding them.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But
I am very good.
So there'll be a power vacuum, and a lot of times the most psychotic person ends up taking over that vacuum, and you might just end up with 3 warlords that eat people or something.
Well,
yeah, and Imperium has too much power already here, so I would be worried about them taking too much power.
Yeah,
also,
that's good.
And Lux isn't really thrilled with this because she didn't want just 2 barons because that polarizes the world. She wanted 3, but she wanted a shift in the power balance so that she was the dominant baron.
We will be the 3rd baron. Captain Beth
that would work.
is
the
3rd baron.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check. Diplomacy plus either social or intellect, and you can make that, Captain, with a boon.
Okay, 2 6s, so.
Ooh, boxcars.
13.
So yeah, that is a success. So, I mean, obviously, Pharaoh likes the idea of gaining more territory. Lux Lux agrees to this plan with some provisions in that she wants to make sure that when everything is all said and done, if Cordan is to join the Kingdom of Drinax, she wants to make sure that she is the official envoy to Drinax.
All right, if the other baron's okay with it, I am too.
He's not. He doesn't feel like he's in a position to really argue with Lux because Lux is obviously, she has more forces than he does.
She's gonna get another fortress on her side too of the line.
Right.
She'll have 2 fortresses.
Right.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah. So he doesn't necessarily have too much of a problem with that. He just likes the idea of being under the auspices of the new Kingdom of Drinax, and maybe, of course, trade will continue going on with the Imperium, but at least you guys will be aligned. This won't be an independent planet anymore. This will be a part of the Kingdom of Drinax, and you can tell the Imperium to go kick rocks if you want to. He likes the idea of that.
Sweet.
So, then the question is, how do you want to deal with Baron Halley? And I think what we'll do is I'm going to give you guys a week to consider this of how you want to go about dealing. I mean, you could just have Lux and Pharaoh's forces invade completely and, stop with the police actions and just go full batshit on him. That's, of course, one option. You could wait for your pirates to show up and really, carpet bomb that territory. There's a number of options that are going to be available to you. So I say we go ahead and we'll take a break here. We'll pick this up next week, give you guys a week to think on it of how you're going to destroy essentially a country. And then we'll pick this up next week at 7 o'clock.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Good break.
Yeah, my personal favorite thing to do would be to go invade that fucking fortress and just kill everybody there, and that would give us control.
That's true. Just go.
But anyway, I don't really care what we do. We can talk it out.
I don't think he's going to just give up. So, probably your idea of murder hobo is probably a solid one.
Well, I mean, if we kill the head of the snake, then wouldn't stand a chance that we could absorb the forces of Haley's paramilitary, and that would be really nice to have here.
Theoretically, yeah, you could. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'd like to do is steal that military for our own personal use.
Right. Yeah, I see that. Okay.
But anyway, that was really fun.
Up next week, and I will see you Friday night for Deep Night Revelation.
Sure will. Good
night.
Right.
Good night.